quick. Okay. There's so much information, but my feeling is we need to tackle one thing at a time. And if we can do that, it's those small, what we believe may be insignificant or significant changes that we do. It's that day in and day out. That's where the glorious results come in, right? It's not like thinking overnight we're going to change all of our habits, because that's not how the brain works. The brain will always go back to what it knows. But if we can slowly start removing things from our diet, adding things back in slower pace, and really kind of creating those daily wins, that's really what I believe what lifelong health is about. Because I truly believe that we have to focus on prevention, because it's way easier to prevent disease than it is to, once we have it, trying to undo it. Okay, so hopefully by the end of our call, you guys are going to be very clear the two main things that are really affecting. I'm going to just focus on the United States, okay? One big thing for the United States. Well, I want to show you one real quick. I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to keep this kind of just light, right? I'll show some different slides, and I'm just going to keep it where I can see the slides, because I'm going to go all around. But can you all see this slide? It says the food you eat can either be the safest, most powerful form of medicine or the slowest form of poison. Okay, you see on one side what the healthy foods are, right? And you see on the other side what the unhealthy foods are. And unfortunately, in the United States, we have 88%, and the studies have shown 88% of our population is metabolically unhealthy. And what that means is that we have things like heart disease, diabetes, cancers, and a lot of these are all what they say are lifestyle diseases, which means our choices that we're making regularly are actually contributing to our disease. So I just want to make it really, really clear for everybody what we can focus on, okay? So here, I just said it, right? But I want you to know, these are the stats. 1 in 4 people will die of heart disease in this country. 1 in 2 women and 1 in 3 men will develop cancer. 1 in 3 will have diabetes by 2050. That's scary. And we're not just talking about adults anymore. We're talking about kids. And it's because of the foods that we're consuming regularly. We're not talking about type 1 diabetes. Type 2, which used to be called adult onset diabetes, but is now called type 2 diabetes, because we're seeing young kids with diabetes. And it's just, it can be prevented. And then 1 in 5 children are obese. This statement blew me away. Our children are more harmed by poor diet than by exposure to drugs, alcohol, and tobacco combined. Okay, let that one sit with you. I'm going to focus on the two that I think are the biggest contributors. And the first one is sugar. Okay, sugar has, it's in everything that we eat, unless we're eating whole foods. We are processed foods. We go through a drive-through. We think we're eating, let's just say, French fries. French fries have sugar in them. There's hidden sugar in almost everything that we eat. And unfortunately, sugar is highly addictive. So I would imagine we all know that, right? Have I said anything that people don't already know? I think we do know that, but I don't know if people realize the magnitude of sugar being so addictive. So sugar affects the dopamine center, just like drugs like cocaine and heroin. So actually, when we consume sugar, our bodies quickly get addicted to it, and we just crave more and more and more. And because if we're eating processed foods, or we're even eating out, and we're eating a salad, which we think is so healthy, but we're getting a dressing that is put on by the restaurant, or we make our own salad and we put on a dressing, there's hidden sugar in the dressing. I don't know if you guys know this. I just actually learned this. There are 100 different words in processed foods for sugar. 100. You can Google it. Just Google words used in processed food for sugar, and I guarantee that list will come up. It is scary. So we have to be our own advocates, right? I mean, it surely isn't our government trying to make us healthy, right? It's the big ag businesses and the big food businesses. They don't care about our health. They really don't. They care about the bottom line, and they're making food that tastes good. And they actually have food behavior scientists that are actually creating these foods to make us addicted. That makes me so mad, especially because we have children, and our children, we're doing our best as moms, but we're also busy, and our children are becoming addicted to this stuff. It is so, so bad for our health. And, it's what we continuously put in our bodies will over time create disease, because sugar is inflammatory. Once it goes into the body, there is some low-grade inflammation that occurs. And unfortunately, that low-grade inflammation is the precursor to these diseases that I was just talking about. So we've got to do something about it, okay? I just want to share, because I don't want to be like all like doom and gloom. I just want to share some things that I use, and I'm hoping that you guys take notes and you go out and try these things, because I've done a lot of this, like a test kitchen for my house, trying to eliminate sugar from my kids. Everybody loves it, but it's tough. And so I've tried lots of different things, and I'm just going to share a couple of things that we love in our house that has gotten us away from, let's just say, processed cookies. Okay, cookies, ice cream. Have you all ever heard of protein energy bites? If you haven't, go on Pinterest and just look that up. There's a million different recipes. But tonight I made, I just want you guys to see this. All right, so if I'm sharing my screen, I don't see myself. So let's see. There I am. Can you all see this? Can you see those?
No.
Okay, so they're little energy balls, okay? What's in bites is gluten-free oatmeal, almond butter, what else is in it? Almond flour, raw honey, cinnamon, and protein powder. That's it. You put it all in a bowl, you mix it up, you roll the balls. I roll them a little bit more in cinnamon just because our girls like cinnamon, and they're delicious. So they can be, they can take the place of cookies. They can take the place of ice cream. They come in every imaginable flavor. Look up protein energy bites. Okay, so that's my first one to kind of get us away from processed sugar. Okay, now if you are a coffee drinker, that's a tough one, because a lot of people love cream and sugar in their coffee. Okay, the dairy is going to be for another talk, but I want to introduce you guys to nut pods. Have you ever seen these before? They are typically in the coffee section of the grocery store. Some of the stores actually have them in the refrigerated section, but it is an almond and coconut creamer, and it just has a natural vanilla flavor, has no sugar in it. It's delicious. You can even put like a little drop of stevia. Even if you put a little honey, it's still getting you away from processed, highly refined table sugar. Okay. And then the last one I'm just going to show you. So I talked about salad dressings. Simple, right? I like things simple. Like I make a salad almost every single day, and I just, I'm busy, and I'm an entrepreneur, and I work from home, so I'm busy. So this is it. Olive oil, apple cider vinegar, and herbs and spices. So this one is just an Italian blend, but you can do any flavor, and mixing and matching, so delicious, so simple. You can do it, just throw it together. There's no like perfect balance, but apple cider vinegar is so good for your system to create alkalinity in your body. Believe it or not, even though it's vinegar is acidic. And then, any herb. So those are just a few things that we can do to slowly start pulling some sugar out of our diets. Okay. All right. So then the next one we're going to go on to is gluten. Okay. So gluten, I'm not sure if people understand what gluten is, but it is a protein that is found typically in wheat. It's found in rye. It's actually even found in oats. Traces of gluten are in oats. That's why you want to go gluten-free with your oats if you'd like. But what happens when we typically eat gluten? You may not have full-blown celiac, but they say 40% of our population has some form of gluten sensitivity and they don't even know it, okay? So when you consume gluten, what happens is like our gut wall is very tight, right? It's supposed to be tight to hold everything inside. But when we eat gluten, what gluten starts to do is starts to weaken the wall, right? So when the wall of the gut is weak, that's the gluten actually, it's called, I think it's called, let me find it. I wrote it down. It's called zonulin. That is the actual inflammatory protein that's in gluten. And so it starts going through the bloodstream. And when that happens, that creates an inflammatory response. The body's like, whoa, 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 whoa. This does not belong here. I've got to fight it. Creates this inflammatory response. Well, guess what? Low-grade inflammation again. And here's the thing. You may be one of the lucky ones that when you eat gluten, you get a stomach ache, you get bloated. You may find that your knuckles get really stiff and tight and inflamed. That is an inflammatory response. To me, you're lucky because you can say, okay, well, when I eat gluten, this is what occurs, right? So you can easily see that you have a sensitivity to it. But what about your brain? Did you know that your brain doesn't have pain receptors? So every time you eat gluten, if you do have a sensitivity, right? If you are at least the 40% or more, every time you eat gluten, it is creating inflammation in your brain, and your brain can't say to you, hey, I'm inflamed here. Well, guess what Alzheimer's is? Alzheimer's is inflammation of the brain. So don't we want to cut gluten out just in case? Because they say by the year of 2050, half of our population is going to have some level of Alzheimer's. That is freaking scary. So I want you all to know I've got lots and lots of choices. This has been a challenging one in my family. The bread has been the most challenging, but I have one for you. Try this out. Can you see that? And I'm going to read it to you. It's called Canyon Bakehouse. Okay. Canyon Bakehouse. You can get that either in the freezer section, or you can get it some of the stores, like we're in Texas, we have H-E-B. H-E-B carries it in the bread section, but there is like 5 or 6 different varieties. They even have a cinnamon raisin, I think, which is a little sweeter, but you know, there's an option. But I've tried pretty much every gluten-free bread there is, and I wound up having to finish it because nobody liked it, but I finally found one that everybody likes. So try that one out for your family if you choose. Okay, the next one, this is another one that we love. Have you all heard of Siete? So Siete is an Austin-based company. Actually, it was started by a family whose one of their family members had celiac disease, which person that has celiac cannot even, they can't even be in the same room with gluten. That's how highly sensitive they are. But these are almond flour tortillas. So good. So you treat it just like a corn tortilla. And you can just pop it on the stove top for like 30 seconds. It softens, it's delicious. You can actually crisp it up and break it up and use it to dip in like guacamole or hummus. So good, so delicious. So there's that, Siete almond flour tortillas. Siete also makes, these have some sugar in them, but not too bad. This only has 5 grams of sugar, right? But these are, Siete makes grain-free. Have you ever heard of churros? Churros are basically, it's fried dough and it's so delicious. However, not good for you. Fried food's going to be another chat, but these are so good. So let's just say we want something sweet, but we're trying to keep the, we're trying to keep the sugar low and try to stick to gluten-free. Try those, okay? And then I want to honor our time, so go a little bit quicker. These are Bob's Red Mill gluten-free rolled oats. You can typically get them either in a gluten-free section of the grocery store or at H-E-B. We have them, they're right next to the regular oats. And then pasta, that's a tough one. A lot of people struggle because they love pasta. Banza pasta is so good. And it's made from chickpeas. So this one is it's a penne. And then this one is just regular spaghetti. And it's made from chickpeas. There's no wheat, gluten-free. It even has protein in it because of the chickpeas. And then one last thing, kind of sticking with the chickpea theme. These are chickpea, they're just roasted. You can make your own, but if you don't have time, you can buy these. This brand is called The Good Bean. You can get them at the grocery store. You can get them at Whole Foods. I've actually found them at Marshall's, believe it or not. Marshall's got a pretty good health food section. All right, so there's all of that. Okay, so those are the items that I would highly recommend if you are trying to cut gluten out of your diet. Okay, so let's move on. So we're talking about the two things that we need to take out of our diet. But I want to share something with you. We have an increasing amount in this country of environmental toxins. Those, gluten and sugar, we do have some control over that based on what we choose to eat. But what about what's in the environment that we are breathing in all the time? We think our interior environment is cleaner, believe it or not, because of all the off-gassing from paint and furnishings and our carpet. We have a lot of toxins just in the environment, the air that we breathe in our homes, right? Then, not to mention, we've got all the over-the-counter drugs and prescription drugs, and we've just got so many toxins that are in the environment that unfortunately we don't have a lot of control over. And then the next thing that I want to share with you is that our food quality is decreasing, right? Even if we go to the grocery store and we're doing our best to eat healthy, right? We unfortunately don't, like when it comes to produce, our produce is between 50 and 80% less nutritious than what our parents and grandparents ate. And it's mainly because the soil is so depleted of nutrition, but also because if you go to the grocery store, you're buying, let's just say, broccoli that was picked underripe because it was trucked from maybe another coast, from another country, and they have to allow at least a week or so in order for it to get to your grocery store. So because it was picked underripe, the nutrition is not there like it used to be, unless you're growing it yourself or you're buying it from a local farmer's market. You really run the risk of having those foods being so low in nutrition. Okay. All right. Let's see what's my next slide. Okay. So we talked about the things that we want to cut out, but what we want to add back in are whole foods, right? So let's just talk about the fruits and vegetables. We should be eating at least 7 to 13 cup size. Let's just say the size of your fist, cup size, and a variety, okay? Every single day. And if you're an athlete, if you're somebody like me who goes into the gym regularly, they say 16 to 18. I don't know about you guys, but I can't eat that much. I do eat a lot, but I don't eat that much. And, I've already said what this slide kind of basically talks about what I've already said, but that's really what it comes down to, is that 1 in 10 Americans are eating enough fruits and vegetables. Most of us are not. And that is really the armor. Truly, the fruits and vegetables are the armor for our cells. And Mimi, if you can pop that latest study from Harvard into the chat box, that would be awesome. So just recently, within the last month, a study has finally been done. And I was just like, yay! Talking about plant nutrition and how important plant nutrition is to armor our bodies against the what we're all dealing with, right? Dealing with this virus that is just riddled this world. And they've talked a little bit about vitamin D, they've talked a little bit about zinc, but now there's a study, and a large study, that has been done to show that it helps armor your body to strengthen you against getting the virus, or if you get it, your chances of surviving are going to be a lot less, or a lot better, a lot better, because you have all that micronutrients from these fruits and vegetables. Okay. So the simplest way to get fruits and vegetables into your body is smoothie, salad, and stir fry. 3 S's. Keep it really simple, right? Smoothie in the morning, salad at lunch, stir fry at dinner, or mix it around if you want. But that's, I know in a perfect world, but that's really it. It's that simple because you're getting more plants in your body. Chances are, though, even if you're eating like that, you're still not getting enough. Even if you're getting the amount, you still don't know if the amount that you're getting is really, it's got the amount of nutrition in it. If, like I said, if you're buying it from the grocery store. So I have another solution for you. That is called Juice Plus. Okay. Juice Plus is the simplest way I can describe it is whole food nutrition, fruits and vegetables in a capsule or in a gummy. Really simply, the company works with farmers, medium and small size farmers that wait to the fruit and vegetables are at their peak of ripeness, and then they pick them. Then they typically quickly freeze them to lock in all of the nutrition. And then once they extract the water and they dry it at low temperatures, right? So you don't want to, high temperatures will kill the nutrition. What's left is beautiful plant powders. So you are getting micronutrients, thousands of micronutrients in these capsules. And if you're consuming them every single day, like the way I do it, I just throw them right into my smoothie. I have a smoothie every single morning. And if you want my smoothie recipe, just put yes, please, or something in the chat so I can see that, and I will send that to you. Put yes, please, and put your email address, okay? And then I'll send that to you. I've created this recipe. I share it with as many people as possible because I truly believe drinking your breakfast is really the best way to get lots of nutrition in your body, but also being able to put these capsules in is just another way to level up and armor your cells. Okay, then the company has a vegan omega, and we all have heard about fish oil, right? But a lot of people can't consume fish oil for one reason or the other. Fish oil, unfortunately, has, when they process it, they have to process it at high temperatures. So typically it degrades the omegas. We're taking fish oil because we think it's high in omega-3s, right? But what typically happens with most of the companies over the counter is that it's been so heated that you really aren't getting it. So it's more of a rancid oil. So the company has found a way to cut out the fish because they go right to the source of where fish get their omegas, and that is algae, right? So it's algae oil, and then it is 5 other oils that come specifically from plants, and it's cold pressed. So if you're a vegan, you can take these omegas. And we've got lots of studies to show how well it's absorbed. And the thing about Juice Plus, I just want to tell you about this, is that Juice Plus has got a lot of research. Okay, I'm going to see if I can just find that one. Gold standard research. Okay, it is the #1 research nutraceutical in the world. So they've got 43 studies, and the studies are not done by the company. The studies are done by hospitals and universities all over the world. So basically what happens is they say, well, we're going to look at how Juice Plus or how plant powders could possibly affect the body for inflammation, right? They come to the company, they share with them what they want to look at as research. And if the company agrees to it, they sign off. They will possibly give them the products, but that's it. The company has nothing to do with it. That's why I love it. And that's why I share Juice Plus, because it's such a simple way and it's a sound, tried and true way to get thousands of micronutrients into your body day in and day out. Okay. Now, let me see if there's anything else I want to share. Oh, I just want to show you this. So what we typically do, we know that we don't eat enough fruits and vegetables. Most people know that. So most people take a multivitamin, right? But a multivitamin is, you see this, a multivitamin is just a select amount of nutrients that typically have been processed in a lab, and our bodies don't always know what to do with that, right? If it's not readily available, if it's not bioavailable like food, right? And Juice Plus is that. Juice Plus is food. Look on the right, see this apple? On the right, they have found 10,000 micronutrients, or phytonutrients is what they call them. Those are nutrients, they're chemicals coming from plants, right? They found them just in an apple. So just imagine if you're flooding your body every single day with those capsules of the 30 fruits and vegetables, just imagine what you're getting. You're getting not a lot of just a select amount of vitamins. You're getting small amounts of thousands of micronutrients that work in synergy, right? The body knows what to do with food. I don't know if you guys know this, but a Brazil nut, if you eat one Brazil nut a day, that gives you all the selenium that you need for your entire day. Isn't that cool? That's what I love about food. And we just need to eat more whole food. Okay. One last thing I just want to show you about the Juice Plus company is that they have partnered with a company called the Tower Garden. Tower Garden is a way to grow your own food, which is so cool. And it's, if you look on the right, the far right is the outdoor garden. The one on the left is the indoor. So the indoor has LED lights to mock sunlight, and they both have a reservoir at the bottom that holds water. You just have to have an energy source. You plug it in, it's on a timer. The water trickles down from the top, trickles down, waters all your plants. The indoor one, I know it's every 45 minutes. It comes on for 5 minutes. The lights you set on a timer, typically 12 to 14 hours, and that's it. And you can grow food in your own home. In my house, we have what I call the smoothie salad garden, and that is lots of different greens. We've got all kinds of herbs. So, you know, we make a salad or we make anything for dinner, we can just go right to the Tower Garden, clip it and use it. And it's as fresh can be. And here's just, you know, you can learn a little bit about it. Produce it 3 times faster than what typically you can plant when you plant in a regular raised bed garden. Then you also have the fact that it uses 98% less water, and it takes up 90% less space than a conventional garden. So it's really cool. The outdoor one, you can grow everything. You can grow watermelon, you can grow tomatoes, strawberries. It's so cool. And one of the things I love is that kids are more apt to eat fruits and vegetables if they grow it themselves. So I'm super excited because my daughter's middle school has bought a couple, 2 indoor and 2 outdoor, and they're actually creating a whole STEM learning program after school. And their kids are going to be able to grow their own food. I'm just so excited about it because it is, again, it's just another way to get more plants in. And when kids get them in early on, they're more apt to continue. All right. And then just to finish off, I just want to show you Juice Plus. We do have chewables, and the kids order is free with an adult order. And I just want you to see how inexpensive Juice Plus really is. It's $2.50 a day. I don't know about you, but when I go to the grocery store and I buy like an organic apples, they're like, I think they're close to, like, the ones I really like are about $4 a pound. Well, 1.5 apples is already $4, right? And that's just an apple. So you're getting $2.50 a day for all those fruits and vegetables. Kids orders are free. A child with an adult order from the age of 4 to 18, or if they're in college, their order is free up to 4 years. There's also a protein powder, which is delicious. Kids love it. And then, of course, you've got the omega. So you can just see, if you chose to try Juice Plus to add more nutrition into your body and into your kid's body, we're talking like the cost of the coffee that a lot of us tend to get that's so yummy and delicious and full of sugar. So that is really Juice Plus. And I just wanted you guys to know, you take out the sugar, you take out the gluten, and you add more plants into your body. And it's really that simple. Now, I am a mom on a mission, and I just want you all to know that if you ever want to join me on this mission, because it's a tough one, right? I feel just as a health coach and how I stand for health, I feel like I'm here on the planet to make that difference. And the more moms and grandmoms or granddads or dads that want to join our healthy living revolution to really help families get more plant nutrition in their body, it will change the world. It really will, because again, our kids, I don't know if you all know this, but our children, they show that their life expectancy, based on where our culture is going statistically with our health, their life expectancy is going to be less than ours. We need to do something about it. And it's simple. And this is it. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I know that I've gone over a little bit, but I would love to answer any questions that you guys have or any comments that you have that, I want you to leave feeling empowered. I want you to feel like, all right, these are the things that Jen has shown me. I can easily go to the store. If I want to choose Juice Plus, I can do that. If there's anything else that I can do to help you while we're on this call, I'm here. You got me free.
Thank you, Jen. There's a lot of people in the chat that would like your smoothie recipe. And I also put in there the article that you mentioned, if anybody wants to grab that. So just wanted to conclude, and thank you so much for the education and the suggestions of ways to substitute things we eat for better options.
Yes. Well, I love it. Thank you all for your time. I really appreciate it. And I hope what I have shared with you has made a difference, and you just feel empowered to make those choices for your family, so your family can be healthier and live optimally. That's what it all comes down to. I'm going to stop my recording. All right, no more questions? No questions at all? All right, that's cool. I'm good with that. I think hopefully I shared enough. And then Mimi, is there a way that I can save the chat? Will that save in the recording?
Yes, it does. If you go down to the chat, it does save. Yes.
I'm learning. It's all good. Where is I'm trying to stop the recording. Oh wait, here it is.